Hey, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It's just been so gray out here. I'm about to move the car, try and go somewhere with a little bit better lighting so we can film this video. It looks like it's starting to rain too. Just the sun hasn't even been shining around here lately. If you live in the North Carolina area, then you know what I'm talking about. Especially around the Charlotte area. I don't know about the rest of the state. I guess it's pretty large. So, two things. Got my Civic back and the Beamer back, obviously, since I'm driving it. And I've got another problem with the front end of the suspension on that Civic. I'm pretty sure that the driver's side ball joint is failing. It's clunking over bumps, and the car is having a tendency to kind of drift toward the left. So I've never really done anything with that. So if anyone has ever replaced a ball joint on any car, especially if it's a 7th generation Civic, but I mean in any car, let me know if that's something you think I could DIY. I was looking at some DIY guides that were on the Honda forums, and they were talking about needing an air ratchet. So I don't really know, I don't have that, and I mean I could buy one, but it might just be easier to pay somebody that already has one to do it. Plus, I don't really know when I'm going to have time with the holidays coming up to replace that thing anyway. So, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, though. Anyway, so a couple people were asking on my video about my radiator failing, any update, that kind of stuff. And I kind of figured that the video I made with, doing the oil filter housing gasket, I mean, obvious I had the car back, so I figured it was kind of obvious it was fixed. But anyway, people were asking about it anyway, so I thought I would kind of, delve into it a little more. And I mean, yes, my car is fixed. It was around $700. I can't remember. I'm about to tell you in a second when I park, exact price. So right here, for the radiator itself, it was $371.97, so $372 basically. Water pipe O-ring, $7. Coolant, $25, and 2.3 hours of labor, $218.50, which came to a grand total of $622.70. And then I went ahead and had my brake fluid flushed out because it was already due for that service anyway, so went ahead and had that done, and that made it an even $800 total. But I was going to delve into this neat little write-up that they gave me. So this is a whole page about BMW cooling systems being terrible. So I haven't read the whole thing, I've just sort of skimmed over it, but I'm going to kind of do that again with you guys and get the highlights. So I'm going to read from the very first. The heading is BMW coolant system overheat repairs and preventative maintenance. BMW cooling systems have premature failure since the early 1990s despite several redesigns. Occasionally we see failures before 60,000 miles, but after that mark, you're on borrowed time. So if you have a BMW past 60,000 miles and are on the original cooling system, then according to EuroEnvy, you are on borrowed time. Additionally, BMW engines are particularly vulnerable to meltdowns and other collateral damage as a result of cooling system failures. When you think home is just a couple miles away, driving with the thermostat in the red is a fast track to severe engine damage. The water pump thermostat housing, belt pulleys, belt tensioner, expansion tank, radiator cap, and related components all have plastic parts, and any of them will leave you stuck on the side of the road without notice. Every 60,000 miles or 6 years, whichever comes first, we recommend a coolant system overhaul with only BMW genuine parts, which of course we stock for multiple and all contemporary BMW models. Additionally, we recommend a coolant system flush, including draining the engine block coolant every 2 years, despite claims of lifetime coolant. Now, I've mentioned this a couple times in videos. The transmission fluid, the differential, the coolant, and the power steering all have lifetime fluids. No, don't listen to that, okay? That's insane. So I still need to do the transmission fluid. Probably going to do that in January. So pretty soon here, but I have done the differential. I did that myself. I did the power steering myself. I mean, you can do the power steering with stuff in your kitchen. You can use a turkey baster to get rid of the old fluid, which is what I did. I did not actually have a pump available then, so I did that. So, there are ways around it, and that was just as effective as having a proper pump. If you have a pump though, I mean, it'd be a little faster and probably a little more straightforward, but I mean, using a turkey baster is not that complicated either. Anyway, so keep on going. They're saying to do the coolant system every year to give them an opportunity to test the system for pressure and leaks. They're saying maintenance on the cooling system is cheap compared to doing an overhaul. If an overheated BMW comes into EuroEnvy Autowerkes, which is the shop that gave me this, that did my radiator, with a split expansion tank and original water pump and thermostat, we would recommend an entire system overhaul. So they didn't recommend a system overhaul to me. Maybe they kind of knew I was on a bit of a budget and that I'm college student, and that, $800 was a whole lot to me. I actually had to borrow a little money to get this done. So, I'm in debt for having my car fixed, but not too bad. Okay, instead of trying to piecemeal what has already failed, we suggest taking advantage of overlapping labor involved with replacing the components. Let's see, I haven't. This is as far as I've read, so now I'm going to kind of skim and see what's important. And after that, it's just saying be honest about it with them so they can fix it. Like, don't try to cheap out, etc., etc. They say understand that new leaks may occur as hoses age and seals age. These leaks happen usually within a few hundred miles after cooling system repairs are made, if cooling system flushes and basic system overhauls are not performed. So obviously my car dumped all its coolant and I got a new radiator, so my entire system was flushed. So I mean, my coolant is brand new, my radiator is brand new. My hoses look good. I don't know how old they are, but they look good. They have not been changed since I owned the car, which has been still roughly 20,000 miles. Saying at the end of a cooling system repair they will verify blah 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 blah, and pretty much the rest of it is just business stuff, saying that we're honorable, we do our job, and we'll make sure your cooling system is good. But the fact that put this back in my glove box, they're just saying that system's been redesigned many times, it still fails. The engines are particularly susceptible from damage from overheating. I don't know about all BMWs, but I do know that the N52, N54, N55 engines all have a tendency to run hot, in particular the turbo models, for obvious reasons with compressed air and more fuel. But the N52 does also, and unfortunately for E90 sedans that are N52, I don't know about the coupes. I think they have the oil temperature gauge, but the M52 powered sedans do not have any sort of temperature gauge, so you just get a light when it gets too hot, and I haven't seen the light ever. But if you see that light, pull your car over and park it. Do not risk damage to your engine. It's something you don't want to do. Even $1,000 repair to fix whatever might be wrong with your cooling system, to do an entire overhaul or whatever, is still cheaper than $4 grand for a new engine, or $5 grand. I don't know what a new engine costs, but it'd be a lot. It might, be more than the car is worth at this point, depending on your mileage and whatnot. So, and that's a new one, obviously. I mean, you might be able to find a used one for a fraction of the cost, but if you buy a used engine, then you don't know what kind of problems you're possibly inheriting. So, that's a whole nother avenue. That's, that could be explored, a whole topic on its own that could take a long time to delve into. But guys, point is, I figured I would follow up on people's questions with a video and kind of explain a little bit just from what EuroEnvy Autowerkes told me. And I hope you guys found this video informative. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and leave this video a big thumbs up. It really helps the channel out a lot, and I appreciate every one of you that does it. And I will see you in the next one. Thank you guys for watching.